Congratulations on purchasing your new SpaceJump Trampoline. Hours of outdoor fun await for you and your family. Assembly of your trampoline should take no longer than 2 hours and can be performed easily with 2 people. To prepare for assembly, unpackage the 3 boxes and lay out the contents. Check your parts against the parts list found in the assembly manual. Note that different size models will have a different number of parts. In this video, we're installing the SpaceJump 14-foot Challenger model. To begin, lay out the top rail pieces on the ground, holes side up, to form a circle. Next, lay out the T-section pieces in between each join of the top rail. These will be used to connect the top rail together. Starting anywhere, grab your first T-section and ensure that the square tube end points upwards and outwards from the center of the trampoline. First, slide it onto the larger end of the top rail using the rubber mallet as required. Next, simply insert the adjacent top rail to connect them together. Proceed to connect the remaining T-sections in the same fashion to form the top rail into a fully joined circle. Next, gather up 1 foot piece and 2 legs. Lay them out on the ground with all 4 yellow stickers face up. Connect the legs to the foot, joining the 2 yellow stickers together, then secure together using the bolts, nuts and washers. Be sure to feed the bolt up through the hole from the underside. This will keep the nut out of harm's way. Lightly tighten with the wrench, but keep the bolt loose, as the wiggle room will be useful when connecting the completed feet to the top rail. Continue forming the trampoline feet by connecting the rest of the legs into the foot pieces. When placing around the trampoline, consider where you want the entrance of the trampoline to be and rotate the frame as necessary. Connect one of the completed feet to any 2 T-sections and ensure that the curve of the leg shapes outwards from the trampoline, not inwards. The yellow stickers need to face the inside of the trampoline. Fix together using the bolts, nuts and washers. Repeat the 2 previous steps and attach all completed feet to the trampoline. Unfold the jump mat and place on the ground logo side up. Then neatly lay the safety net over the top of the jump mat.
Arrange the safety net so that the zip lines up with the base of the logo on the safety pad.
Attach them together by feeding the metal D-rings through the elastic loops as shown. Begin at the zip and work your way around the edge, being careful not to miss one as you go. Drag the joined jump mat and safety net inside the trampoline and position the zip to face your desired entrance between 2 feet. Next, place all of the springs into the top rail. To connect the jump mat and safety net to the springs, find your middle spring on the entrance of the top rail and unhook it. Place the loop end of the spring into the D-ring below the zip and reattach the spring to the frame using the spring tool. The springs need to be attached in a specific order to avoid uneven stress on the mat. Different size trampolines will have a different attachment order as shown here. For the 14-foot, connect the first spring then count 9 springs to the right and connect another. Continue this method until you return to where you began. Repeat this process by moving on to the adjacent spring until finished. During this process, double check the D-rings as you go to ensure they have not spun out of position. Recorrect them if required before installing more springs. Lay the safety pad on top of the springs logo side up and position it so that the seams roughly line up with the T-sections. To attach the safety pad to the frame, reveal the spring loop on the underside of the pads, near each T-section piece. Unhook one of the springs next to the T-section and feed it back through the loop before reconnecting to the top rail. Now feed the top of the T-section piece up through the hole provided in the safety pad. Multiple ties are included around the edge of the safety pad for extra security. Simply tie a double knot around each top rail to secure. Repeat these 2 steps for the remaining spring loops. Next, connect an upper net pole and a lower net pole, clicking into place as shown. Take a PVC sleeve and slip the non-elasticated end over the pole cap and then feed it down the net pole. Position the top of the sleeve so that the elasticated end sits just below the pole cap. Pull up the bottom of the sleeve to reveal the button clips and use these to connect into the top of the T-section. The net poles must curve in towards the trampoline. Repeat the steps and attach all net poles to the trampoline T-sections. Gather together the fiberglass rods. Separate the rods into 2 even piles. Note that 15-foot trampolines will have a pile of 8 and a pile of 7 rods. Starting at the entrance of the trampoline, begin feeding the fiberglass rods through the safety net found at the top of the net. Continue repeating this process, feeding the rods through the sleeves in the same direction with the help of a second person until you've used up half of the fiberglass rods. Return to the start point and repeat the previous step, feeding the other half of the rods through the sleeves in the opposite direction. When finished, you should have a silver connector on each side of the safety net. Have one person stand at opposite sides of the trampoline holding the rods. Keeping the rods flat against the safety mat, push them gently towards the middle of the trampoline to form them into a circle. Join the rods together one side at a time. Climb into the middle of the tramp and lift up each section of the safety net to connect onto the pole cap at the top of the net pole. It's easiest to attach in a star order, lifting up opposite sides of the net as you go, rather than attaching onto adjacent poles. Hook the ladder over the top rail by lifting back the safety pad. Awesome, your brand new SpaceJump trampoline is all set up. If you have any of our great accessories, you can now move on to installing those. Otherwise, you're free to blast off.